Alright. In the bottom right side, we got ourselves a blue Terran. He's fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Cure. And not to be confused, no sir, this is not a Dragon's Phoenix Gamer. He is actually... that is his name. He's from the Afrika Freaks. He is DRG. The Dragon Reptile Gamer. The Dragon Reptile. Ah, lovely. Lovely. We're on fire already, I see. So we saw these both players, I suppose. Both going for pretty darn standard stuff so far. DRG. Oh, I love DRG. I do love myself some DRG, guys. I am always quite excited to see some DRG. Cure as well, honestly. Although Cure is more one of those run-of-the-mill boys, you know, don't get me wrong, it's a very, very, very good Terran to watch. Great player to learn from. You can learn so much from just watching Cure, but a lot of it just kind of comes down to him being really solid, right? Just throughout the entire game, having good mobility, just having good awareness of where he needs to be at what time, knowing what kind of build orders are going to be the most proficient at what scenario, and that type of stuff, right? Now, that is very impressive, and that will win you a lot of StarCraft 2 games, but my personal take on things, right, I am a human being as well. I'm allowed to have some personal opinions here and there, scattered throughout. DRG, just a bit more of a wild card, right? You're not quite sure what you're going to get sometimes. He will try to run in. He'll try to get some damage done with Mutalisk. Weird stuff like this. Multitasking. Just going bananas here with this guy usually. And always fun to see. Always fun to see. Did I not cancel that bot command? Oh boy. Alright, let me double check that actually. Bots, Mr. Bot. Not sure if I'm still logged in on this. I am. Okay, lovely. Lovely. Timers. Can I just turn this timer off for a moment? I guess not. Let's just do this. Hi. Please drop a follow if you contents. There we go. Alright, lovely. Fix that one. Ooh, it's Inu. Inu, what's up, my man? How you doing today? Inu, the Korean caster of Into the Community, Into the Clan, Into the TV. It's all of those above, all of the above. He does an amazing job at just organizing events for us continuously and allowing us to partake with the casting as well. Fantastic guy. Gotta love him. Alright. All back up into the medevac. That's 4 queens. You may not want to fly. That's dangerous flying territory. And he does recognize that, so he will reconsider. It's a good call. That is indeed a good call. Alright, so Cure gonna grab himself a 3rd base with on the back foot of quite a couple of Hellions here. He's gonna start making some Banshees also. As the Marines are just kind of waddling around. It's very similar to what we see Beyond do sometimes, right? I know I talk about Beyond a lot, but, you know, I get to see a lot of Beyond games, so... in the end, everything is kind of getting constructed, in my opinions, between, you know, what is Beyond doing and what are the other people doing, in comparison to that. That's the danger of doing too much Beyond casting, I suppose. But anyway, it's very similar, but there's slight subtle differences, right? With Beyond's build, we would normally see the Hellions kind of simultaneously with the medevac of Marines. Partake in a bit of harassment, multi-pronged harassment, whatever. You did not just see me miss that circling 3 times with the mouse. I decided to move backwards when I was least expecting it, you see. Zigzagging. Very difficult to click on zigzagging units. There's that Banshee now. There's also an armory on the way, so I'm anticipating quite the effort to just break down DRG. Now, the Baneling Nest is not yet quite produced, so that could in fact be quite the hassle here. The lair was prioritized, and that could come to cost DRG quite a bit here. He does have a formidable queen count, and he is already kind of putting them all together here. Nice spread. Trying to get as much distance between one queen and the other. Need to still do the transfusions though. There we go. Okay, just does manage to get that. Zergling's only on the backside if the Hellions are turned away from them. But yeah, this is just too much damage already. This is without the Banshee as well, by the way, guys. If that Banshee was there also, I don't even know what would happen here. I think that would already be a dead Zerg. Even though it still might be a dead Zerg, right? Okay, we got some Banelings on the production tab. Ooh, those drones. Ooh, those drones. Yeah, they are not going to have a good time here. That is just, he's just sacrificing them now. He's like, you know what, never mind. You want them, you can have them. Does get the Banshee, but 27 workers already have gone down. And this is the thing you have to consider, right? If you don't go the Baneling route, well, the Baneling route might take you. That means not going for the Baneling route might take you, I suppose. And yeah, as you can see, now we're going to have to see Baneling's going to take on one Hellbat at a time. It's not really the way to do it. GG is called. Kure takes game number 1 there. Quite a strong push indeed. It's pretty cool to see him just kind of keeping the Hellions on the back, right? Not really engaging at all with the Hellions, and only participating with the Hellions at a later point in time in order to, you know what, transform them into Hellbats. I'm not sure if DRG really got a good eye on the Hellion numbers. I don't think that he did. Otherwise, we may have seen the Baneling Nest a little bit sooner, but wasn't the case. Wasn't the case. Anyway, regardless, we're hopping into game number 2 here in this best of 3. In the top left side, the red Zerg for the Freak of Freaks. He is DR and a G. That's DRG. In the bottom right side, we got a Dragon Phoenix Gamer Man. He is Kure, the blue Terran. One hell of a strong push indeed. It's a shame sometimes it does just come down to somebody not making attack structure in time. Maybe anticipating something else and then all of a sudden trying to get away with too many drones. Well, no, it's going to be the end of it. He did have a reasonable amount of drones, I suppose, but he had a lot of queens as well. It's kind of the problem, right? If you're not quite sure what your opponent is doing as the Terran, you know that something's gonna come. You just don't know what, and if you don't know what is coming your way, then you're gonna be in a lot of trouble, right? Because it could be a battlecruiser, it could be the Hellbats, it could be Widow Mines, it could be a whole cascading options of sorts, and yeah, you have to figure out what is coming, or kind of have to be lucky that your overall response to what you think is happening kind of coincides with whatever you need at the moment in time. Right? Whether that be is what you anticipated that will come at you, or whether that is just something that is a little bit similar, where you may also need Banelings for, or may also need a lot of Queens and Spore Crawlers for. It's always nice seeing the mules kind of drop from the sky. There's the spawning pool. Let's see how greedy DRG is going to be right now. We know that he likes to kind of stick around on the Zergling Baneling kind of composition, right? Doesn't always want to go straight for the lair. If you do go for the lair and you start it up with around the same time as the Baneling Nest, normally you're just trying to get yourself the Baneling speed as quickly as possible as well. And that does allow you to be very safe against a lot of timing attacks. But apparently not the one timing attack Kure was doing there, so maybe it was just a little bit late. So I did not look into the exact refinements of timing staff for the Baneling Nest and the lair, but oh well. Seeing Kure going for the 1-1-1 here again. Would anticipate him once more trying to be a little bit aggressive. Will be very interesting, in fact, if he does go for the exact same build. It's kind of looking similar here, I would say, right? He's still making a lot of Marines here. Most likely will get himself a medevac. And then we'll have to keep an eye out on how many of those Hellions he's going to be sending across. And if he just keeps the production of it going as well. He must have gotten a reactor on the factory as well, right? At some point. Previous time. It must have happened. There's no way, right? There's no way that was just all Hellions without a reactor. He's making a tech lab. Alright. Could still be the same thing, right? Switch this over for after the medevac is out. Start making some benchies. It's looking very similar, is what I'm saying here. It does seem to be the case. Oh, thanks for the follow. See, I don't have that many followers, so whenever you do follow, you still get a little zombie cup. And bring, telling me that you followed. It's a special occasion. Alright, there is that medevac once more. DRG, will he be able to get the scout off this time around? Sees the Hellions, but, well, sees the SCV as well, I suppose. Doesn't quite know, of course, for certain a base will be built there. I suppose you can kind of anticipate, right? Unlikely he'll put an SCV there just for show. Unless if he's a mega brain gamer man. Just being like, alright, now there's going to be a Zergling moving past this area, and I will have a SCV here, so it looks like I'm trying to get a third base. No, he isn't actually going to get himself a third base. People don't do it usually that deep into the mind games. Sometimes they do, but oh well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Guess that one is very difficult to sell as well. Short window of opportunity to do so. Anyway, there you go. That's my little tip to all of you. Put an SCV somewhere. Make it look like you're expanding, then don't really expand. Professional StarCraft 2. Alright, so these Marines here, they're trading okay. I like the pickup micro. Overall, just getting whatever they can and getting out of there with all the SCV, or all the Marines still alive. There goes that first Banshee. Circling does get a scout. Do we have the armory on the way as well? I don't think we do, so also no further Hellion production. Which is very cool to see because, well, I mean, Cure's making it look exactly like we saw previously. DRG did get himself that much quicker Baneling Nest, it feels like, and suddenly it's just not the same. It's just not what it was before, and that is going to put DRG for a little bit of a loop here, perhaps. As he's going to have to estimate what else is on this way. Actually, that is an armory on the way. Crazy. Is he doing the same thing again here? I don't think it is, right? There's much more Marines this time around. It feels like. Oh well, could just be for the upgrades also, actually. I'm looking at that now. That is a little bit of a silly thing of me to say. So that's just for the upgrades. I got all excited and giddy there. It's not the same thing. Would have liked to see the same thing, you know? It's always nice seeing people kind of on the fly trying to make adjustments for a certain build. And then see whether or not those tiny adjustments, right? Getting a Baneling Nest a little bit earlier, getting a couple of Banelings. Now, do you hold this or not? Well, if you, instead of 2 extra queens, you get more Zerglings, what happens then? Make more Banelings, you know? A little bit of fiddling with the numbers, and suddenly it could still make a big deal happen here. I mean, he did make the Baneling Nest. He never made any Banelings, though. Did have a Zergling out in the front base of Cure, but Cure, I suppose, not moving along the regular trenches of Romanticide, so did not get spotted there by the Red Zerg. Unfortunate. 2 benches up here as well. We'll be able to intercept a potential other 4th base location. Cure's transitioning into the Widowmine army composition. Love to see it. You know that DRG is a big advocate for the Zergling Baneling army style, with the Mutalisk in particular. So if you have yourself those Widowmines, they counter basically everything in that army composition. So it becomes quite difficult until you have those Ultralisks to kind of tank the damage, pave the way. But until then, things can get rather dicey. Now, this medevac did get spotted. Looks like those Mutalisk will try to move to intercept already. But there's the Banshees also still remaining here. Can he get both? I don't think he will. Oh, the Widowmine would be nice. Doesn't get the Widowmine. Oh, it still takes his shot as well. That's rough. Alright, let's clean this up, but for the price of 2 Mutalisk. And the Banshee still get away as well, so. How did 15 workers die? I see. Cure, you magnificent bastards. Pushing in with a big army here as well. It's always a regular thing here. 21 workers, that is absolutely ridiculous. 21 workers here going down. DRG is in a lot of trouble. For somebody that plays usually Lingbane Mutalisk, he has a lot of difficulty dealing with Widowmines. Now, to be fair, that is the style that is supposed to be good against you, but I mean, you still have your workarounds, right? You still can kind of move your units away from the Widowmines and such. And funnily enough, DRG maybe not the best person at doing that. Even though maybe being the person that is the biggest advocate for the Lingbane Mutalisk style. It's a weird thing. It's definitely... Oh! I probably wasn't paying attention there. Matter of fact, flying over the hatchery here. A small mistake. Does give DRG a bit of a heads up that is coming along. Good pull away from those drones. The Widowmines will just settle wherever they fancy. Be careful here. Ooh, okay, just a single little drone so far. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. One hit onto the Queen as well, and nothing else will go down. Already a 2 upgrade advantage here for Cure. That will continue onwards for a little bit longer, it seems. Quite the committal here. Not that many Banelings. Mostly just Zerglings and Mutalisk that will get on top of the SCV line. And the SCV line already running away. 3 workers were killed, and that's about it. Interesting, interesting little bout there. I guess that is going to force Cure to remake this wall, put a lot of units in on this side as well until that wall is fully recreated, but still, I'm not sure if that was worth it. On the other hand, you just want to keep Cure preoccupied, right? On his side of the map, you don't want him to be able to do as many Widowmine drops, harassments, these types of things as he would like to. And that is going to be happening until you actually have those Ultralisk. Then you can really start taking battles here as the Zerg. Especially before the Terran has a hefty number of Marauders, Liberators, and or Ghosts as well, of course. Oh, this would be nice. I mean, gets 2 workers again. Not that much being achieved by the Mutalisk flock so far. Surprised he didn't start shooting the SCVs a little bit sooner there, but... oh well. Can't complain too much, of course. Nice targeting there of the creep tumors. DRG still not... well, about as max as you can get, I suppose. No Ultralisk have been created just quite yet either. This would probably be the best moment for him to try and make something happen with the Ultralisk. He just hasn't made them yet. Did he get the... okay, he didn't get the upgrades yet either, though, to be fair. There we go. That's the chitinous plating. Still needs the Ultralisk speed upgrade as well, of course. So they can actually, you know, participate in the battle. Base here on the top side should get blasted by a good amount of marine fire here momentarily. And DRG, what is he going to do? Is he going to try to intercept this army, or is he just going to go around and try to get the kill on the base of his own as well? Does he save that base? That is absolutely crazy. He kind of does both here, in fact. Those Banelings, are they strong enough in numbers? Yes, they are. We'll be able to get that planetary. That's a really good one. to have. And now the Mutalisk coming in on the other side as well. That's a really 1-2 little punch here. Quite a couple of those SCVs do go down. Immediately returning to the missile turret's store to buy himself a couple more. So DRG, yeah, I kind of like what he managed to do there. He kept his base alive, got rid of a planetary, and got a reasonable amount of SCV kills there, right? SCV count now only at 65. Might be okay considering how many orbital command centers we're getting here. That is 2 more orbitals, so very interesting indeed. A lot of firepower there into those banelings being shot as well. How many Ultralisk? 3 Ultralisk. Okay. This is something we see DRG do sometimes, right? When he does go for Ultralisk, he doesn't do that many of them. He likes to play a bit more on the Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk style. But the idea is that having the Ultralisk tech available kind of forces your opponent as the Terran to subscribe to, well, anti-Ultralisk technologies, right? You gotta start making those ghosts. You gotta start involving more Marauders in your army composition, as well as Liberators usually, or at least, well, either Liberators or Ghosts. If you don't, you're gonna be very quickly in a lot of trouble. Now, if you do, DRG, because he doesn't like to make Ultralisk that much anyway, will just make more Banelings. He'll just make more Marine or Zerglings, and suddenly, all your anti-Baneling stuff is not going to be able to, or anti-Ultra stuff, will not be able to do as much as you would like to. As well, they're not fighting against Ultralisk. It's the careful balance that he has to walk here, of course. Same could be applied for the other side, right? If you see that there is too many Marines on the field, start making those Ultralisk, right? Too heavy reliance on Widowmines, get yourself a lot of Ultralisk. Widowmine eating machines, as they call them. Alright, Kure making the investment into the nuclear missiles as well. They are starting in that production. Being produced, being researched. Let's see if we can find a sneaky ghost somewhere. Where are they all? Oh, there we go. That's the guy that's going on a mission. Or, I'm sorry, it's a girl. Is it a girl? I'm not even sure if it is. It's hard to say. I guess it is a girl, right? The picture always looks like a man to me. Oh. Ooh. Nuclear missile in the air. Double attack here for DRG. Getting massive connections right here on the left and on the right. Let's see the nuke. Where does it go? There we go. 18 drones to fall. Not too shabby. These bases here under a lot of pressure. Losing most of the SCVs there as well as I believe that was a planetary, or perhaps it was an orbital as well. Anyway, regardless, it's gone now. It's dead. Burned to the ground. More of these replacement orbitals will have to be flown over. Try to alleviate the pressure where there's no mining going on. More nukes coming in as well. 93 workers still available for DRG though, and look at that map as well. I mean, it's not a whole lot of creep spread overall, considering how much dead area over here there still is, right? Unutilized area overall, but it's pretty darn good. The amount of base is pretty darn impressive as well. DRG, not much to complain about right here. Just needs to make sure that he does not suddenly lose too heavily one-sidedly in a lopsided battle against the 130 army supply that is available right now here for Kure. That is always a scary thing overall as the Zerg player in this position, right? You know you're in a really good spot. Now you got to finish off your opponents. How do you do it? That's the big question. Do you just keep sending in units in wave after wave? If you do that, sometimes you break him, sometimes you don't. Do you try to just keep him from making more expansions? Right, that's one way to do it. Scary as well, because if you do allow your opponent to get those extra bases, well, you could be in a lot of trouble as well. Anyway. Oh, good Widowmine shots there. Finding a lot of banelings there to explode into. Banelings not going all that well answered so far. till the rest of the army does come in. 12 more SCVs do go down, and another base falls as well. DRG already at 200 supply once more. Had a pretty good bank and should not fall too easily now due to a counterattack. Also, we can see that cure, right? No longer at that 130 army supply. So that's very important also. If you are going to go for these types of killing of bases type strategy, try to make sure that you still get a good portion of army as well. Don't just be like, alright, beeline for this command center, then beeline for this command center, and then if you get both, you're like, alright, nice, economic damage achieved. Because then you're gonna see that, oh, well, I guess that's just too much Terran army still remaining, and that is just moving across the map now. I'm gonna lose 2 bases myself now. Minimum, right? Nice when shit hits the fan indeed. Alright, there goes the nuke up in the sky once more. It's the same base. DRG now aware that this is a place where he likes to be, so we'll be able to get that. Not sure what the Mutalisk were doing there. It's very cool to see a Terran just making one Ghost Academy, but then still trying to utilize the nukes here, right? A nuclear bomb, very, very important to in the Terran arsenal in this matchup. Oop. There we go. But yeah, it's surprising to not see more Ghost Academies and more nukes, in a way. If you are going to invest into nukes, why the hell not just make it a ton, right? Maybe that's just my bias. Wanting to see a lot of nuclear bombs go off. Here we go, there. We have pretty reasonable connections into the Terran army. Once again, taking away some of that army supply, right? And then also doing the economic damage. Kind of getting a bit of both. We'll be able to intercept this army, the little drop here on the bottom left side as well. Good baneling connection there in the last seconds possible. And once again, kind of denying Cure of just moving across here with his, probably, if he puts everything together here, I would say just better army, but really does not have the chance to do it, right? Continuously just struggling. Okay, I think that's already dead, actually. Before it ever got anywhere near to landing. Alright, this could be a very devastating attack here. Curie is 140 army supply, but how well will he be able to keep that army supply alive here? Already down to 90. You can see he's trading more efficiently. There's more army supply of DRG just going down, but I mean, DRG has been able to just mine so much more throughout this entire game. It is quite difficult for Cure to make any space anymore. Yeah, DRG is just gonna take these 2 bases as well, I would assume. Losing the top right, he's like, alright, well, fine, you can have that. Let me just take more than half. More than my fair share. Even just having one of those bases probably is going to be enough already. Oh, that Widow Mine. Oh, another Widow Mine. That's what, man. It's the one real weakness of DRG still, right? Continuously, I'm saying this, but he takes some massive baneling, Widow Mine hits. It is rather silly. Okay, this is really good. Nice circling counterattack. That's going to be forced to be dealt with. Unless if Cure just wants to go for it right now, but a base trade situation. Probably not something you're looking forward to making happen at this moment. Circling's going to get themselves onto the Ghost Academy as well. Do we still have a nuclear bomb in there? Yes, we do. If that goes down, the bomb goes with it. And more attacking happening at the same time on this planetary fortress. We'll be able to get these Marines as well, and very, very good job here for DRG. Still finding economic damage, still finding plenty of army units as well to continuously keep Cure around that same 100 army supply, which DRG is meeting continuously. Even though he has 80 workers, right? He still is continuously able to fight on a very similar army supply. And that is a crucial thing here. It's another thing for the Zerg. If you do allow your Terran opponent to kind of get too far out of control just with his army supply, right? It's not even his bases count, right? If you do keep them away from getting all those bases and you keep killing SEVs, suddenly, I mean, if they have 160 army supply, that's not that much you can do with 80 army supply if it just comes down to a head-to-head army versus army, right? Let's see over here. We got a nice bit of bailing rollage. Utilisk still pressuring that other base as well. Oh, got those Wither Mines. Okay, he gets rid of most of the Wither Mines. Gets another base. 70 army supply remains. Very well done here. DRG will get himself a GG. There it is. Kurt taps out. DRG doing a pretty good job there. Keeping that pressure on the other side of the map and keeping all those bases rather low while still taking out army supply as well. Very crucial. Unbearable. Unbearably good. Unbearably good. DRG. That means we're tied up here in this first best of 3 of today. We got ourselves a red Terran player in the bottom left side. Fighting for the Dragon, the Phoenix, and all the gamers in the world. He is Cure. Now, fighting for the Dragon Reptile gamers, Dongregu. Now, he's fighting for Africa Freaks. I know this. It's just a little joke. Just a little joke, guys. Don't take me seriously now. Just a ha 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 ha. What he is doing though, he's being a bit of a dragon as well himself. Now, I know dragon outside of the StarCraft lingo, of course, does mean a you know, it's somebody you don't really like to go hang around with, right? It's quite uptight, quite a usually screaming individual. Just a real kind of a bitch of a personality, if you don't mind the language. But anyway, inside of this game, right, being a dragon, I'd say is similar to just being somebody that really likes cheese in this game as well. Seeing how cheese would be the thing you would assume somebody does that is a dragon in real life. Or a dragon in real life could just be the big reptile as well, of course, but that's a whole different story. Alright, so let's see how much of a committal we're getting from DRG. I mean, is he still mining gas? That's an important thing. No, he is not. Just gonna go for the metabolic boost. What's up, Kotole? Very important for these early Zerglings, especially with that speed boost, to be able to get themselves on top of that command center. Probably does want to get a denial here on that one. Get a cancel, right? Try and make this worth. Already getting the SUV. There we go. Okay, there's the cancel. That does make it worth now. Will he be able to do anything else with the Zerglings? He does have a queen here in time. Oh, I like that. Actually, not just being able to save the drone, but also kind of trying to blockade the Reaper's pathing there. Very cool to see. The Zerglings, yeah, they are not able to get themselves up this ramp here, unfortunately, of course. Oh, but almost losing one of them as well here. Anyway, he's going to go Reaper hunting, I would assume, with the Zerglings. Now, that's the weird thing, right? Going for the gas with this. I mean, the added bonus is that now you have these speedlings that, if there were more Reapers or something like that on the map, you would be able to deal with them. But at the same time, did he not see that? Oh, wow, that is... Oh, okay. Anyway, The downside is that it's quite a bit of gas you're investing now into that upgrade, and you're not getting a lot of value out of that upgrade, right? You probably would have been able to do the exact same things with these Zerglings without the speed. They go over here before they... Well, I think over... They were already cancelling that command center before the speed was completed. So you can see that in its own right makes that a little bit less optimal than it could be, that situation for DRG. Makes me wonder as well what the idea is of getting the Zergling speed instead of just the Zerglings. Maybe you will be able to get us around on another unit. Maybe you're going to grab the Reaper as it's trying to rotate around somewhere. Right, those are the two other upsides. Another upside would be, of course, that your Zerglings will not be able to just be pressured off the map by that Reaper, I suppose, right? Maybe that's the biggest deal. You're going to be able to maintain that map awareness with those Zerglings. I think that is the thing I like the best out of it, I suppose. Well, it's not really keeping them on the map, so... Oh well. Yeah. You got a map presence right off the bat. Is this? Oh, I mean, it's looking very similar. There's just no medevac with Marines roaming around. But we do have Banshees. We do have an armory. A lot of Hellions here being constructed. There they come. There are the Hellbats. Let's see, we do not have a Baneling Nest once again, but because there's not as many Marines here, the Queens should do a lot better in this situation. Shouldn't take as much damage as quickly. Oh my god, that was a wonderful hit right there, just running straight on top of that Queen. Gonna get himself 2 Queens momentarily here. There we go. Already a couple of drones also having to give up on life there, I suppose. The Banshees in the main base here denying any type of mining at the same time because all the Queens are necessary in order to hold against the Hellbats for the time being. Need to see target fire off this Queen as well. Help out this situation here. Target the low HP Hellbats, always incredibly crucial to do. Stop that high DPS from really obtaining a lot of damage there and a lot of value. That spy is going to have to be cancelled here, I'm afraid. As if we have transfuse, but you can't transfuse a building that is still producing, of course. Maybe if that spy did manage to complete, then he would have been able to get that transfuse going. I think that is why he was waiting, trying to get it there, but couldn't quite do so here. At least didn't want to run the risk of losing the 200 minerals and the 200 gas outright entirely. Remaking it on the same location, you know, that does take some courage. Third base flying across. And now we have more barracks under construction as we have the +1/+1 coming in momentarily as well. Alright, small victory there for DRG, I would say. Scouting the double medevac drop with Marines and keeping that drop back at the other side of the map here for quite a while. Gonna try to do a bit of ring around the Rosie. Needs to be wary though of the Widow Mines that have taken the place of the Marines. 12 Mutalisk on that production tab. Do we not have a Baneling Nest? Is that... We do not have a Baneling Nest. Wow. Okay, this man is going extremely heavy into the Mutalisk here. That could be scary against someone that's going, well, pretty much just pure Marine and pure Widow Mine. Not sure if this is the right way to approach this situation, but maybe I'm going to be proven wrong. Who knows? Alright, does manage to get this little outclumping of Marines. The medevacs are in a lot of trouble. Ooh, that's the reinforcing Marines, then that does save the day. More Zerglings all gathering up here. The big club of Zergling niblets. Oh, doesn't. Oh, he does get it, but he doesn't really get any SCVs for all the effort that he put into that. Very good repair. Something that helps sometimes is actually letting the repair complete and then start your damage once again, but man, there was a couple of times where you're like, alright, now he has it. Now he has it. This round of just overall glaive attack, that will get it, and then just not happening at all. Oh, Mutalisk. He's still going super heavy into Mutalisk. I suppose if you already this committed, you may as well just stay committed, right? As long as he doesn't lose them, like, could be a very, very powerful tool to win a base race situation, to intercept reinforcements, all this great stuff you can do. But he has to be careful, because now there's not just Marines and Widow Mines that are looking to kill him. There's also Thors on the map, right? And those Thors, they do not mess around against the Mutalisk. Okay, looks like Repair now finally no longer will be able to do much of anything against those Mutalisk anymore. The Mutalisk really getting themselves in a bit of a corner. Be careful, losing one, gonna lose the Overseer. Alright, that could have been a lot worse, but does manage to, once again, avoid certain death. Widow Mines are being thrown about throughout this entire base. There's two more sitting here. They still need to get themselves into the ground, though. Mutalisk already a little bit orange to some of them, so he doesn't know about the Widow Mines. Two Widow Mine shots right there. Straight. Oh my god, that's another one. That's 11 Mutalisk just like that. All the rest of them in the red. A single Thor shot, that would just kill all of them. Oof. Yeah, that's gonna have to make you reconsider just going pure Mutalisk, right? It really should. +2 air weapon attacks is coming in here for DRG as well. I mean, he's getting the Infestation Pit. Maybe he's looking to make a transition into Broodlords? Maybe? I mean, Broodlords can be pretty good with the extra added in air weapon attacks, right? That could be pretty darn strong. And maybe that's the plan. Maybe that's the way he's looking to do this. He's gonna start losing a couple of the workers here also. Zerglings, ooh, just barely getting that one. Mutalisk, more of them going down, it seems. How many? 4 of them. No worries about that. 4 of them in exchange for a single missile turret. There you go. Definitely losing some momentum, these Mutalisk. Where was that with mine? Oh, it's still one here. Look at that. How many kills? 9. Naughty, naughty. Alright, it's 6 o'clock. It's now protected by the help of the planetary there, of course. Guess the SCVs are stuck between the missile turrets. One missile turret is protected by a Widow Mine as well. Looking at this. Oh, another Widow Mine shot just like that. How many losses do we have now? 20 Mutalisk have gone down already. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that you put into that. Okay, this is also quite weird. Seeing Zergling Mutalisk fighting against the Bio group without any Banelings there. It's a good thing that he does have Banelings somewhere, because he is going to need them most of Cure's army now moving across the map. The army supply very, very heavily in Cure's favor. And DRG, he is not finding his targets. GG is cold. And that was a very strange game. That was a very strange game. I'm not quite sure what the exact plan was.